Ah, beautiful. My old friend the sun is out. It is May 1st, 2015, day 12. Uncle David DC's Adventures. Another beautiful day out at the survival property. Super psyched. Trying to think of what I was going to do. I thought it was Saturday today, but I guess it's Friday, so I can still run the chainsaw. I try not to run the chainsaw on the weekend so it doesn't bother my neighbors when they're not at work. Thinking about taking a run up to that market. It's about 1.5 miles away. That sausage was so good the other day. I think I might have to go get some more. And it was really cheap. They had it on sale. It's deep frozen. And the neighbor said I could put some frozen items in her freezer, so I don't have to keep it out here and I don't have to keep running to the market whenever I want meat that's not in a can. Speaking of meat in a can, we are going to make a video here not too long about what meats comes in cans and what ones are good and which ones I eat and would recommend, because when you are hiking or spending long term in the wilderness, sometimes you need to bring canned meats. Which sounds gross, but, you know, hash browns, not hash browns, corned beef hash, delicious. Vienna sausages, the ones with barbecue sauce I like. There's a bunch of other things too. Some people like tuna fish. I like tuna fish, but I really like it with mayonnaise. And smoked salmon in a can I'm not down with, but some people love that stuff. So we'll talk about that at some point here. But it's day 12. Good thing about the YouTube channel is it encourages me not to just sit around doing nothing. It also takes up time that I could be using for work, but I really don't spend that much time working. So I'm trying to think of something cool to do today with you guys. But today I might just do some work. We might save something cool for tomorrow because I did think it was Saturday. I want to do a fishing video here. And it's really early spring, and there's not really any fish on my river yet, but that's alright. We're going to start fishing soon here anyways. Here's the brown trout. Well, don't know what happened there. Ran out of memory and cut the video off, so I had to go and upload some stuff to a hard drive. But didn't matter much anyways. After a statement like that, not working very much lately, I realized that I had to spend the day working. So I decided to take a walk up to the market to get some meat. And then I spent the entire day doing yard work, so I figured I'd save you guys from that. And I let the iPad sit up at the neighbor's house and upload a couple videos to YouTube. So you guys will probably see those. Yeah, so not much happened on day 12. So I guess just enjoy these flowers that I found. Day 12 still. Look what I found. Patch of beautiful wild flowers. I don't know if they're originally wild, but this is kind of a little waste area next to my neighbor's barn. They used to have horses here many years ago. But some beautiful spring flowers, huh? Alright, back to my walk to the market. Ooh-wee, them were some nice spring flowers, eh? Alright, well, it's day 13. It's the 2nd of May, 2015. Uncle David, DC's Adventures. And, yeah. Yesterday I spent the whole day moving those brush piles all into one pile so the animals can enjoy it. I was gonna burn it, but the chickmunks seem to have so much darn fun in there, I just can't do it to them. So I just moved it to a better spot on the property, which was about 1 million spiders all over me and piles and piles of dead leaves. But I got them all to a good spot, and it's a spot where I have this little hole dug in the ground, so it'd actually make a good home for even groundhog or something. We have some woodchucks around here, I think is what they are. So it's always nice to be building some habitat as you're, processing your property for a home or for a camp, because you will lose some habitat when you do that. Day 13, like I said, it's, I was using my saw yesterday trying to cut up firewood, and the chain's getting all warm, and it's cutting really slow, and I'm an idiot and have just learning how to use my chainsaw, and I'm like, what is wrong with this thing? And then I took a look at it, and I was like, oh, Right, I'm supposed to sharpen the chain every once in a while. So, yeah, at some point, and right now, here's the disclaimer. I'm definitely no professional at sharpening a chain. This will be my first time trying to sharpen a chainsaw chain. But I'll bring you guys in on it. We'll talk a little bit about what I've learned on YouTube about sharpening chains. And if you guys want to see a professional sharpen chains, head over to Cody's channel at Wranglestar. Wranglestar, yeah, he knows how to sharpen a chainsaw chain. He'll tell you all about it. So, you know, you can go over to his channel. Maybe I'll put a link to his channel down below. And don't do that until at the end of this video. watch how I do it, and then you can go watch his video and leave some comments about how horribly wrong I was the entire time. Once again, thank you for joining us, and yeah, see you later in the day. Gotcha. Night 13. Yeah, I didn't get to sharpening the chainsaw yet, but tomorrow we'll wake up early in the morning and we'll get right to that. I didn't leave you guys totally hanging. I was spending the day, most of the day, working on some videos for the new series, the Plant Identification with Uncle Dave. You probably already saw the first episode or two of that by the time this is uploaded. But yeah, it's nice being out here. I almost forgot about those plant videos. Some of these plant videos I've been waiting to do since last spring, and I just had to wait until they were coming up again because I wanted to get really some good shots of what the plant really looks like. And spring is usually the best time for most plants. The ones that flower in the fall are probably, and fruit in the fall are probably better to take video of the fall. But anyways, I enjoyed it, and now I got the fire going. We're going to let that burn down here, and I got some sausages and some rice again, or some Jimmy Dean sausage in a pan, the stuff I had the other day, and cooked that up and put it over some rice, and the neighbors gave me a little pouch full of vegetables that she made up today that I can add in with my meal. So things going pretty good out here. It's super awesome that I can upload these videos at the neighbor's house. I do wish I don't have a good enough connection to even watch the videos here, so I don't even know what the quality's coming out as with the YouTube capture. I mean, I'm hoping that they just look like all my videos do, but I don't know. Well, I'm gonna get to cooking. I don't want to set up the camera and do all that, so it's gonna be good night for now. But tomorrow morning we'll break this thing out real early and take a look at that chainsaw chain. Good morning. Morning of day 14. Oh, look at that. Oh. Alright, I figured we'd take a look at the tools before I put the saw up on our bench. As you can see, I don't have even a table or a real bench here, and I definitely don't have any vise of any sort, and I have a small pair of vise grips, but I think they're much too small, and we'll talk about that in a second. But here is the toolkit that I bought with my saw at the place that I bought my saw from. It was a dealer, a Stihl dealer. And this has everything in it to apparently sharpen this chain up. Once again, I am not a professional in any way at sharpening a chain. This is in fact my first time, and if you guys are looking for professional training, you should probably head over to Cody's channel there. But alright, now that the disclaimer is all done, let's take a look at what they got here. And this is a tool that I don't think came with the kit. This came with the saw. So we'll put that back away. But we've got this here. Oh, try to stay out of the light here. We've got this here, which is our round file, which is how we're going to sharpen each tooth there on the saw. And this is actually set up, I guess, So it's set up for the chain that we have, and if you set it on there right, it's supposed to just work. It's supposed to be the perfect angle, so you're not adjusting your angle all the time and you're not messing your blade up, because you need to keep it in a straight angle as you glide across, is what I've been told and what I've seen. And this is supposed to make it so you're not guessing if your angle's right. This is supposed to make your angle right all the time. So there's your round file, and there's your flat file, bastard file, and I did use this when I made the video for the Mora knife, which I probably shouldn't have, because the Mora knife was high carbon and really high carbon. I can see that the side that I did use got some wear on it. These things aren't very strong. I don't know, you know, it's not too hardcore, but there's a bastard file, I think is what they're called, or a flat file. They just have them. I think it just says flat file here in the catalog for Stihl. So that you use in conjunction with this bad boy, and this is a gauge, a depth gauge, and I don't really know exactly how to use this, but we're gonna check it out when we get the saw over here. I don't think I'll have to do anything with the depth on the first time I sharpen the chain, as these are brand new chains, so I shouldn't have to use this right now. But this is just so as you sharpen over time, the top of the blade will get shorter or will get longer. I don't really know, and it'll just be too long, and it'll get too much grip. I think it'll take too much bite, which can make a lot more kickback. And this is, you put this on, and whatever's hanging over, you file off with the flat file, I guess. Again, this is my first time, so once we bring the saw over here, we'll take a look at it and see if it's gonna work and what the deal is. But it comes in this nice little case that rolls up, buttons on both ends and velcros. Pretty cool. I think it was like $26 at the dealer for this package. So I figured you buy this, and then you can buy separate file round files too to go back in the kit. Yeah, I don't know. I think you can replace all the files on these handles. Alright. Bada bing. There she is. The Stihl Ms 271. About 50 cc's on her. And we got a 20-inch bar with the nice new steel bars that they're making, those Rollmatics. Yeah, it's all set up. Got the brake. Let the brake go here. Guys I see using markers to mark the chain where they started and whatnot, but right here, you can't see it on that side. There's a yellow link. So I think if you start at the yellow link, you should be able to keep track of what you're doing. And yeah, they rotate. So you're going to do all of one side. You can do all of one side all the way around until you get back to the link, and then you're going to go to the other side and do all the way around until you get back to the link. And that way you know, because you're going to be trying to sharpen it really evenly too. Like, I think we're only going to take 3 or 4 strokes on each blade and then move on. I think that's pretty much how you do it. And I'm not going to film me do this whole entire chain. We'll talk through a couple of links, and then I'll finish the chain up. And then we'll go to a cutting shot and see how it's cutting, because it was cutting so slow on the oak that we have here. So hopefully after we sharpen it up, it'll be cutting back to speed. I could see that the motor wasn't liking it either, and the chain was getting hot, and I was like, oh, something's wrong. And then a light bulb went off in my head and said, oh yeah, you gotta sharpen this thing pretty much every time you use it, you should be sharpening it. I let it get too dull, so. Here we are. Here's our yellow. Here's our yellow thing. We're gonna move this way. This one's facing this way, so we're gonna start on this side where we're. I'm not really sure how this even works. Yeah, I see the lip here a little bit anyways already. So I think I can see why you would need the bastard file afterwards. But we're only going to do like 3 swipes, but it feels a lot sharper already. Alright, we're going to move down to the next one now. I guess maybe that's why they use a marker too, because then they know they did this one. There you go. Yeah, the guide pretty much just sets it on there, and you can see as soon as you set it on there, you're fitting in with it. Although there's a little wiggle room though, so it's not going to be perfect every time if you don't hold it. This new file has a lot of bite to it. So we're just going to do 3 to 4 on each one as we go through. See, the first one you can feel the grit to it, and then you slide it the second time and it kind of goes away, and then the third and fourth time it's going really smoothly. And that's pretty much, I think, how you know it's sharpened. I mean, they feel a lot sharper just with that. And then we'll go over with the flat file and check all the gauges, and then that'll wipe off the marker as we go around the second time. But usually guys use vice grips as something to hold the chain, which I'm pretty sure, I would think you can just use the chain lock. I mean, this thing doesn't move when the chain locks on. Gotta mark that one. So I can see a little bit of burr coming off at the top here. Right here. So I think that's what the flat file is going to be for. Just making sure that burr is nice and... Oh, yeah, we locked it. But yeah, it would be nice to have a bench and a vise right now, because this thing is moving all over the place. But I mean, I'm out in the woods, so not much I can do about it. But alright, I'm gonna go around and do everything all the way around, and I'll bring you back when I'm doing the flat file part. After I do both sides, I'll bring you guys back. Alright, so all the sun that we were filming by is gone, but I'm sure you guys can still see this fine, and again, we're not going in for all kinds of close-ups and everything because I'm not a professional here, but the chain is noticeably sharper. It definitely worked. This guide here on this made it really easy. I mean, the hardest part of the whole thing was the frickin' bar flaring all over the place and moving on me when I'm trying to keep a straight grind, straight file going, you know. But it's sharp now, and I'm sure it'll cut a lot better. Let's take this tool out and see if the gauge looks like anything. $35, $30. You know, I'm really not sure how the hell you use this thing, actually. It's gotta be something like this. That doesn't make sense either. Let's see if this little booklet here thing says anything. Here's some paperwork that came with this set. Yeah, it says you should have it in a vice grip. It should be vice down. So I was using it. Okay, they're showing us this gauge thing here. Alright, you see these right here? This right here is explaining how to use this gauge, I guess. So I guess I'm going to go look at it again. Huh. I don't know. I guess right here, I think this is how you do it. You just set it here, but they're flush still. Nothing's sticking up. So I think that's what we're checking for. But I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to wait until I get out of the woods and watch a YouTube video on this thing. But the last video I watched, I'm pretty sure he was saying that you probably won't have to use this depth thing the first time that you sharpen it. So, yeah, there we go. I guess we'll take it to the cut and see how it's cutting. Alright, and I guess we'll quickly go over the correct way to start the chainsaw. It is day 15. I had to, yesterday was Sunday. I don't run the chainsaw on the property on Sunday because all my neighbors are hardworking Americans, and Sunday and Saturday are their only days off, and I want them to be able to relax and enjoy those days off. So, it's Monday morning. We're going to fire up this chainsaw, and I'll show you the correct way of starting it, and then we'll see how it's cutting and see how that sharpening went. Alright, first thing you do is engage the trigger, put the choke all the way down, full choke. It's got to be full choke if you're starting it cold, right? Make sure your chain brake is engaged. Put your foot here so it's not going anywhere. And then pump it. And once you hear it burp like that, put it on to half choke. Then you hit the trigger and let it heat up for a second. You don't want to run it cold. So I'll set you guys up on the shot so we can see how it's cutting. Alright, well that was about 100 times faster than it was yesterday before we sharpened it. So that worked. You guys officially just saw me sharpen my first chainsaw chain. It went pretty good. That cut just as fast as it did when it was brand new. So yeah, thank you for joining me, Uncle Dave, DC's Adventures. Off the Grid Experiment Season 4. Thanks again for joining us. Subscribe, rate, and comment. And I'll see you on the next video. There we go. See those shavings? It was just producing dust before we sharpened it, but now it's producing these huge, long shavings, and that's what it was producing when the chain was new. I just cut a couple stumps, and the other day I was having such a hard time stumping those last couple stumps. Well, now they're cutting right off. So, yeah, chainsaw sharpening worked pretty good.